A hot area for illegal crossings and drug seizures.
The guy's under the tree. What you got, Mike? I got one right here. The guy's under the tree.
WDRB was embedded with Border Patrol agents along the Texas-Mexico border for 3 days to see how they try to stop the drug pipeline from coming into the U.S. There's about 300 pounds of marijuana here. The street value is $240,000. Air and marine operations worked with Border Patrol, staging in different areas as the drug smugglers dropped the dope. There were 6 men. All of them were each carrying one of these bundles. 2 men were arrested. As you can see, the other men jumped into the river to swim back to Mexico, knowing agents wouldn't chase them in the water. Drug seizures like this are common here.
They have scouts, they have the mules, they have the person's lookouts, people that are looking out. So everybody's got a little job on their end over there. But again, that's not in any way gonna stop us from doing our job.
This is the Rio Grande. It's 316 river miles separating America and Mexico. Right here it's about a few hundred feet wide, making it easy for people to raft and swim across into the U.S.
There are miles and miles of fields, brush, and sandy conditions. Pilots spend hours assisting ground crews to find illegal aliens hiding in the rough terrain on the U.S. side. We just landed, and over here is the Anzalduas Dam. Mexico's over there, and when the water is shallow, people just walk across the sandbar into the U.S. In this area, you can see debris, water bottles, shoes, and other items people left behind.
You see that trail that runs away from it, like Mike said, that's people trail. That's pretty fresh, that stuff along the bank there. Got 2 runners.
The chopper will help spot the runners looking for bright colors or any movement.
They're running east.
On the water, agents say their presence with guns is more of a deterrent as they patrol the river.
The violence has escalated a little bit, especially in the last couple of months. I think, with the change in the policies and whatnot, we're being a little bit more effective than we were.
There's people from all over the world trying to come into this country.
Most people don't cross the border alone. They pay thousands for help.
It took them 8 days to get here from Guanajuato, Mexico.
How much did it cost you to get here?
¿Cuánto te costó para cruzar?
¿Cuántos tipos?
¿Cuánto te costó?
¿Cuánto me cobraron? Me están cobrando 6,500.
6,500.
This man and his friend were picked up by Border Patrol. They are searched and questioned.
Why did you want to come to the U.S.?
He said for a better life.
The agency also has cameras along the border to monitor the area. Agents use canines and ATVs to patrol on the ground. Between July 2015 and June 2016, agents apprehended more than 186,000 undocumented immigrants here. But so far this year, the numbers are down. Why do you think it's been slower lately for you all?
I think the upstep in these folks knowing that they're not going to be allowed to stay, it takes a lot of money to cross that river and get to where they need to go. And I believe that if they know that if they're apprehended, they will have to go back. They don't want to waste their money.
There are 3,000 agents in this sector. Is that enough?
When it comes to the number of personnel, it's hard for me to say that is it enough or is it not enough? Because more manpower, the better.
Unlike Kentucky, where deportation can take years, at the border the process is relatively quick. Most of the people entering illegally aren't from Mexico. Instead, they're from countries like El Salvador, Guatemala, and Honduras.
Speak English?
With the U.S. government patrolling, people are still getting more daring, even with barriers and fencing.
Sign right there where they cross the road. They had a ladder rigged there. It's got the ladder up against the wall.
Sometimes they track people entering the U.S., but can't find them again. Many here know there was a Mexican flea market right after they crossed the border into Texas.
When they cross, if they can blend in with the general public, it makes it that much harder for us to determine who is who.
There's one right there.
From the air, water, and on the ground, this is what these pilots and agents see every day.
There's another one right here, Quint, 3 o'clock.
People ask us all the time, well, are you all doing anything different now? Our agents are out there giving 100% every single day, just like we always been. It doesn't matter who's in office, we're doing the best we can.
To find Scott Clark, just listen for the beeping.
This is a bit like learning to play an instrument. You have to develop kind of a third eye in your head for underground. And that eye is fed with the sounds from the detector. So it's much more sound than anything.
In a private location on several hundred acres of land in Lawrenceburg, the expert metal detectorist unloads for the day. Headphones, detector, GPS, and a bag for artifacts.
The finds that are good are pinched into this pouch. The junk goes in here.
In we go to find a target.
After I've got a general sound, I'll use the pinpointer to narrow it down.
Clark will dig more than 100 holes in a day.
It's at this moment when you really don't know what you're getting. You've got a good signal and you're zeroed in on it, but
holes that often take him back to the 18th century.
It's a bit like time travel. So I wonder about who lost it. I wonder about what it was used for, why it was there, how they felt about losing it. Finding toys and marbles helps me tell there were kids here out in the wilderness like this.
He'll use his GPS to add a picture into the database.
And then bag it as first artifact of the day. And fill the hole back up and start over.
His hobby started when he was 15.
Started a coin collection and I was hooked from that point forward.
Now he works with archaeologists traveling around the region. He doesn't keep his findings, rather passes them on for research.
I have a lot of very cool coins, super cool buttons, and still for me the thrill is in what it means. Why is it there, and how does it work with all the other artifacts nearby in that story?
He's gaining attention for his hobby, reaching several thousand Facebook fans.
It's just flattering and humbling, and I appreciate every single one of them.
It's not for the attention or the money.
It's not just ripping objects out of the ground and putting them in the basement or on eBay. It's really saving them for their kids and the kids that come after that.
He says he's filling in the gaps of history. Clippers cutting for decades.
Since 1957.
Inside Leon's barber shop on Cane Run Road. While buzzing hair, he's watched the neighborhood around him change.
Bad 7, 8 years ago.
Leon says that's when he noticed an increase in crime and drugs impacting the area.
It don't upset me, but it, you hate to see it, but that way.
After 60 years in this location, Leon says what's happening in this neighborhood is unbelievable. The latest incident of violent crime happening at this Thornton's just down the block.
When officers arrived, they located a white male that had been shot. He received fatal injuries, was pronounced dead here on the scene.
Someone's shot and killed just down the block. Did you ever think it would come to that?
No, I didn't. Never would have thought it would happen in this area, you know.
This isn't the first alarming incident in this area. Early this year, 2 people were shot and drove themselves to the Thorntons for help. A few weeks later, a young girl told police men in a white van tried to abduct her at the intersection right outside of Leon's shop. Despite all this, he says there are no plans to close his doors for good.
I don't know how much longer, but I'm getting old myself.
And Leon will keep cutting with a positive outlook.
Maybe the next day will be better. That's about the only way you can look at it, you know.
We're here at the Megadrone X 2.0, and we're here to do some drone racing.
There's over 100 pilots down here today. There's people from Canada, there's people from California, there's people from Florida.
Drone racing is like the toys that you have at home, but on steroids. They go 100 miles an hour. They're fast, they change direction on a dime. 0 to 60 in less than a second. And we're gonna be going fast and hard, and there's gonna be destruction and awesome racing.
It's gonna be a quick course with larger gates, so it should be a very high-speed course. There's 8 pilots in the air at one time down here, so you gotta make sure you get to the finish line. One of my favorite things about drone racing is whenever you throw the goggles on, you see what the camera sees. It's like you're sitting in the cockpit of a little drone that goes 80 miles an hour. All you see is what the drone sees, and you're in it, and it's a blast. The majority of the drones that you're gonna see here or at most racing events are gonna be custom built. At the end of the day, I'm happy to be here. If I can place really well, great, but I enjoy this for the people and coming out here and having a blast.
When I'm done racing, I'm starting to think about the next race. What do I need to fix? How do I need to practice? At the heart of what's going on here, everybody is a true competitor. We're all pushing ourselves to the best that we can, and we're always looking forward to the next race.